This is breaking news.
We have breaking news tonight out of Salinas. Shots rang out at a South Salinas apartment complex a little before 10 p.m. Good evening, I'm Shannon Hogan. John, this is a story we've been following all day, and it's really strange to look back now because earlier at the 6 o'clock broadcast, the fire was all the way over here, and in just a few hours has spread all the way down these hills. It's really scary to see how quickly it's moved. Engines from Salinas Rural, Salinas, North County, and Watsonville, along with CAL FIRE, were on the scene within minutes of the report. Los Angeles police are investigating what appears to be a murder-suicide. Police say a woman stabbed her 5-year-old daughter to death before slitting her own wrist. Air tankers are making drops at this hot spot right behind me at the Gloria Fire, and the DC-10 has also moved in to help with containment. I was outside a little bit ago.
It's a little frosty.
It's getting chilly, and that means, of course, the heat will be on tonight and extra blankets on the bed.
The heaters are coming on across the Central Coast. If you hear a little buzz, it's probably the heaters turning back on here. It's very cold outside.
Yeah, what is this about frost, too?
Yeah, some frost advisories in effect. Take a look.
I don't know about you, but I would not want to come head-to-head with these animals. 1,800 pounds, and cowboys from all over the country are competing for thousands of dollars just to ride these for 8 seconds.
This motel is right near the Central Coast News studios and where some of the sex offenders live. And Shannon, you were able to go along with some of the officers on several of these entrances into their rooms. What was that like? You know, John, when I arrived at the motel, I have to say the butterflies were going. I was pretty nervous and scared at some points, but once these searches started, it happened pretty quickly. How about the guys inside? Were they cooperative? Did they go along with the program? You know what, most of them were pretty cooperative. They were handcuffed and then they walked through the parole officers and the other officers as they went through the rooms. But of course, there are some people that aren't happy, feeling like they're watched. Take a look. More than 25 officers from all over Northern California met in this parking lot.
Each individual team is actually getting together, determining what they're going to do, which ones they're going to hit first, and where they're going to go from there.
I hopped in the car with Detective Sergeant Archie Warren. Our first stop, the Inns of California. At least 19 sex offenders live here.
Probation search! Sergeant Department!
The officers went room to room looking for their targets. They searched for porn, alcohol, and weapons. This man did time for rape. He was arrested today when police found a knife and crowbar in his room.
It's not a normally a violatable offense for a normal person, but for a person who has a prior rape with a crowbar, this is a significant violation.
Officers arrested 2 people at the motel for violating parole.
I don't want to go back. I didn't know that stuff was in there. I didn't know I was supposed to have it. Nobody ever told me anything about it. It's not on my parole conditions or anything like that.
Lionel Diaz has lived at the Inns of California for a few weeks. He's a convicted rapist, but understands why raids like this are necessary.
They knocked, they told me to turn around, they handcuffed me. They were going to search my room, find any weapons, beer, or anything that's contraband. I was treated right, with respect, you know, and they did their job. I did mine. And, you know, that's the bottom line. They got to do what they got to do.
John, I actually had a chance to talk with a few of the convicted sex offenders that live here in the inn, and they actually said that they feel relieved that they do these kind of searches because it shows that they're actually living where they say that they're living. And in general, the people that you met, the guys that you met on this sweep, you think that they're cooperative, they're going along with the program? You know what, they really don't have a choice. They never know when these sweeps are going to come through, and if they don't follow parole like you saw today, they're going back to jail. All right, thanks for that inside look on the Safe Sweep program. Olga, back to you. Because of the devastating Gloria fire, wineries are now starting to reconsider some of their bird control methods. The Han Estates Winery in Soledad used to use agricultural fireworks, but ever since the fire has stopped using all pyrotechnic methods. Andy Mitchell remembers seeing the flames crest over the mountains at the Gloria fire.
It's a bit of a wake-up call. Some of the practices that we've done in the past, we need to take a hard look at, and going forward, try to use some of the resources that make more sense. Han Estates Winery, like many other wineries, often used agricultural fireworks to scare birds away from the vineyard. As the grapes get more valuable, the need to protect them more has gotten stronger. Without agricultural fireworks, the winery is turning to other forms of bird control. Since 2007, they've used falcons to help scare away the birds. We're talking about using radio communications between our irrigators, between ranch personnel, and working with the falconer and try to get him to where most of the bird activity is for each day.
Bird cannons are also placed around the vineyard.
It's pressurized gas, and the pressure builds up till it reaches a certain point, and then it is released quickly.
The boom goes off randomly. It's environmentally friendly and keeps birds from eating and contaminating the grapes. And while the alternatives to fireworks are more expensive, this winery says they're worth it.
If a fire were to break out and caused by one of our workers, there's some major liability there.
Shannon Hogan from Soledad, your Central Coast News. 11-year-old Mariah Mayo remembers her first time on a sailboat. It was at camp 2 summers ago.
I was a little bit scared at first, and it ended up being really fun.
Maya is just one of many kids who have learned to sail through the junior sailing program, and with the help of the Youth Sailing Foundation, finances were not a problem.
We require the child to do is just write us a letter stating why they want to learn how to sail and their love of the ocean, and we haven't refused any of them yet.
It's a unique experience for kids who learn to work together in a sport that requires both brawn and brains.
It's like a chess match with sit-ups. There's a physical part of it. There's also a very large mental part of it.
Like reading the winds, a talent that Jacob Pauletti learned as a junior sailor. He started when he was 8 and now works as an instructor at the yacht club.
They're scared when they come the first day and they're like, oh, we have to do a swim test. Oh, we have to do a capsize drill. By the last day, they're loving it and they're like, oh, can we do this? Can we do that? And it's just lots of fun.
This lifelong sport has changed these kids, giving some the sense of freedom.
When you're driving a car, you have to follow the lines along the road. And when you're out sailing, you can go anywhere you want.
And others, the ambition to see the world.
I would like to go around the world still because I love sailing, and I think it would be so much more fun and get my own boat and take everybody out. It's just been a good experience, and I hope other people can try to do it too. They would really love it.
This is breaking news.
We have breaking news tonight out of Salinas. Shots rang out at a South Salinas apartment complex a little before 10 p.m. Good evening, I'm Shannon Hogan. Now this is video from the scene. Gang Task Force along with Salinas PD responded. At least 3 ambulances left the apartment complex within the last hour. There is no word yet on how many people were shot or the extent of their injuries, but we will continue to look into this story and bring you updates as they become available. A number of shark sightings near Santa Cruz beaches have some keeping their eyes on shallow waters. 2 big white sharks were spotted. A local shark expert got close to one of the sharks yesterday. He took some pictures of it and shares with us what he saw. Here is Erica Argueta with these amazing pictures. Seakill State Park remains open, and a ranger told us today they would only close the beach if someone was attacked. A traffic alert now. The CHP says at least 1 person was killed in a head-on collision on Highway 101 this morning. It happened after 11 a.m. near the Dunbarton intersection just south of the Red Barn. Investigators say the driver of a pickup truck heading north on 101 lost control of his vehicle and swerved into oncoming traffic. The truck hit a car head-on and rolled over into the southbound lanes. The driver of the car was killed, and the passenger and the driver of the truck were flown to Bay Area hospitals.
The driver of the Honda was killed on impact. The passenger of the Honda is seriously injured and has been airlifted to one of the trauma centers in San Jose. The driver of the pickup truck that crossed over is also seriously injured.
The traffic was backed up for hours while emergency crews were on the scene. And there's new information tonight into a knife attack at a downtown Santa Cruz parking garage earlier this week. Police have arrested a transient identified by security video as the main suspect. Justin Drake was spotted by an officer near the Seabright Avenue and Murray Street Friday night. Dozens of surveillance photos led police to identify Drake as the suspect who attacked 2 men with a knife inside the Front Street parking garage Wednesday night. Both victims were treated and released for their injuries. Santa Cruz police are also investigating another attack near downtown area overnight. Officers found a man with a stab wound to his neck on Cedar Street just before midnight. The victim was treated and released. And on Friday night, investigators say a gang fight led to a teen suffering from a stab wound to the body and another teen getting kicked in the head. Witnesses report seeing 4 suspects running from the scene. Police say neither of the victims are cooperating with the investigation.